Finally live. Oh my goodness me, had some kind of critical error which prevented play. But let's get this party started now. Where's my music gone? Dearie me. There we go. So, obviously, ooh, it's not so good. Whatever happened also crashed my actual drawing. Technology failed. So where did I put the magic pen? Can't draw much without the magic pen. I have a feeling in my panic it's rolled somewhere on the floor. I was well prepared. I promise I was well prepared originally. And then it all went horribly wrong. Oh my goodness me. Where is this pen? Right, let's try standing up. Jiggling about. Oh no. Where have you rolled, little pen? Oh, and I was so ready to go. This is very irritating. Right, there's a beanbag on the floor. It is not under the beanbag. This is where it'll be right in front of my face. Did I walk anywhere? Did not walk anywhere. Not so good. Okay, well let's get the artwork open. Oh, it just moved to that screen. Okay, that's alright now. We can live with that. What we can't live with is a lack of... Aha! There you are. The tool of mass destruction. So yes, apologies for my tardiness. That was down to some kind of critical video driver error. Yeah, all up and working up. Let's get myself comfortable after my panic. Feet have to go on the beanbag. I have to tuck myself in, sort my hair out, get myself really comfortable, and then we can start working on this again. Which today is all about cleaning up line work before I start applying colour. Because I sort of scribbled down how I wanted this to look, and it is, I think the polite term is, a little bit of a mess. We don't want that. We want it to look beautiful and clean and neat and tidy and all ready to receive glorious colour. None of these little floaty bits lurking about. That's not the aim of the game. I do like things neat and tidy. Okay. Much better. Alright. Perfect. So, I will repeat what I said the first time I thought I was live when I wasn't live. Smart gal. Which is, today I am working on page 30 of my comic. This is a page that has had a bit of a radical... Well, there's a few things I've been working on this week, because this is the first week in a while I've really had time to do some proper heavy duty work on this comic, because I do have to fit it in around a day job and life and parenting and other very important responsibilities. But so if I zoom out a bit, you can see more of the whole page. This is kind of the page so far. It's just, I need to, that's a big old speech bubble. I will be shrinking, like all of the speech bubbles and stuff I'm going to rework throughout the comic, because I've made them huge. Because when I was drawing traditionally, this comic, and even to some degree now, don't necessarily entirely know what I'm doing, but I am learning as I go, and I am learning that the speech bubbles and the text I've used, massive, and not quite correct for the purposes I need them to serve. So that's okay, these things can be corrected, and that's half the fun of doing your own comic. Hello Zane! You missed all the drama. I started up Streamlabs. I was on time, well prepared, drinky poo at the ready. Opened up Streamlabs, click go live, massive critical video driver failure. And I had to kind of reinstall all of my video drivers and frantically get myself back online. So it's been a little bit stressful today. I know that's not how I wanted my Thursday evening to play out. But the good news is it seems all to be back up and running after I reinstalled all the drivers. But I don't know what prompted it. A case of Thursday grumpiness, I think. And how are you and your lovely little snaky today? Oh no, how come you're stressed out? If you don't mind me asking, and I'm not prying. I'm really sorry to hear you're stressed out. It's nothing worse than feeling stressed. I hope it's nothing too serious. Been a bit stressful today at work as well, so I was gonna say, and with the whole oh my god, nothing's working, nothing like that to put your whole body in panic mode for the rest of the day. So you have to meet someone to maybe get a job, but you're very afraid it'll end up like the other, and then what am I supposed to do in the future? So yeah, oh, that kind of stress is horrible. Is this the kind of thing where if you met them up and you didn't like the sound of the job, you don't have to necessarily do anything on the back of it? Like, you know, if you're kind of already in a job and you're meeting somebody about a new job, if you decide you don't like the sound of the new job, you could be like, bye-bye, thank you for the opportunity, but I'm alright where I am. Like the other, and then what am I supposed to do in the future? So yeah, well, yeah, it's kind of like I end up liking the other. I guess there's always an element of risk whenever you make big life choices like that, isn't there? But that's kind of, what do they, somebody very wise once said to me, the only constant is change, and if you're not happy with where you are and you have some ability to control it, is it worth it? Like, you know, it's a risk thing, but I hope you kind of get it all sorted out. Obviously, I don't know enough about your situation to give you any advice, but I would say I hope that it kind of all becomes clear and works out okay for you, Zane. You deserve it. You seem like a nice person. I'm sorry you've had such a poor experience, Zane. Well, I said, is it the kind of thing where you can just go and meet them and sort of chat it through and see what you think about it afterwards? And if it seems like there's some red flags in there, you know, no harm, no foul? Oh, you poor thing. There is nothing worse than having a sucky job. Because like, we all spend most of our lives at work, don't we? So getting it right is important. Oh. Are you going by yourself, or is there someone you can take for like moral support? Oh, bless you. I know exactly. Obviously, I don't have autism, but I do know what it's like to not know what to do with your life. I think up until I started this comic, I was very much stuck in a sort of what am I doing holding pattern. And it's like sometimes you can't get the fulfillment you need out of your work, so you kind of, for me, it was like, well, in that case, I will create something that will give me that fulfillment. I know you're a writer, so maybe it's like, you know, if you listen to the song Sunscreen, some of the most interesting people still don't know what they want to do when they're in their 50s. Makes you more interesting. You're still on that path of discovery. So don't feel too bad about it. But bless you. It's not fun when you're sort of in that limbo land. Well, at least you have your writing then, because some people don't even have, you know, something like that where they're creative. I mean, have you ever thought about like properly self-publishing yourself? I know you put it up on the I can't remember the name of the website you told me about, but maybe sort of like actually sort of going through Kindle, like not an Amazon spokesperson, but something like Kindle Direct Publishing or something, and like actually trying to put a whole novel together or something. Maybe that would just like fulfill that need a little bit. But yeah, I do get it. That's how I often feel about my artwork, is it's the only thing that sort of rejuvenates me. Gives me a sense of, this is what I'm meant to do. Okay, good to know that is not a sealed area. I think it will be now. Yeah, it's better. But bless you, Zane. Do you want me to distract you with talking you through what I'm doing today? Because it's funny, when I thought I was live, and I wasn't, I did go into, this is what I'm doing today. So maybe that will help sort of distract you a little bit and forget your woes for the next couple of hours. I'm working on page 30 today, which is, so we're approaching sort of the last couple of story pages of my comic that I'm working on. And this is kind of the character who's this lady here, circling it, assuming you can see my thing, but this lady here is my character Silver, who's sort of my voice in the comic, and this is her sort of beating a hasty exit once she sort of explained the situation to the characters and kind of set the scene for, this is what appears to be happening to you, this is what you need to solve. And this is her kind of getting up to say, oh, I need to consult higher powers. Even by my sort of limited knowledge, this is beyond the scope of what I understand. And have I still got... Let me open up the page before, because I do need to keep referring back to previous pages to make sure I put everybody in the right position and nobody sort of looks like they're where they shouldn't be. So this is the page before, which isn't like, just assume none of these pages are finished. But this is, yeah, this is the sort of page before. Okay, so I haven't actually specified where anybody is, so that's good. So this page is kind of designed to kind of, thank you. I love drawing hair. I used to hate drawing hair. It used to be my least favourite bit, but particularly long, sort of textured hair. Oh, love it. I need to get better at drawing curly hair, but that's why there's no well, no, that's not true. There is one curly haired character, Matt, who is in the band, has got curly hair, and I will be practicing drawing curly hair to do him justice. But where was I going? Yeah, this is a sort of a scene where it kind of puts the characters in place so that you can kind of picture in your head them in the room, whereas I think most of the pages before, because it's kind of her explaining something, it's kind of showing you pictures of what she's explaining, so it's more pictographic than it is storytelling. So this is kind of back to the storytelling element of the comic, which is the hardest to do because you have to kind of constantly keep track of where is everybody in the room, what camera angles are you using, what looks interesting, what doesn't look interesting, who's talking. There's lots and lots of factors that go into it, and they take me forever to draw. So I've been putting them off. I've been like on my streams, I've been focusing on like the cover art, which I've decided to leave. Oh no, that no. Oh, it's hard because it's mirrored. So the little artwork thing in the bottom corner now is the completed cover art, which I thought I'm going to leave that up so people can kind of see what the cover looks like. But that's sort of, I want every page to be as good as that one, and like as detailed as that one, and like draw the reader in, and that means I've got loads of work to do because a lot of my pages are basic. So I want to like zhuzh them up. I need to do some comic page zhuzhing. And that involves getting this sort of level of detail into my pages, because I think when I first started this comic I did a lot of pages like I dedicated a whole page to that, and maybe I'm being a bit unfair on myself, but a lot of my early pages are kind of this, where it's just like part faces and like it's not really grounding people in the room that they're in. So already I'm sort of let's have a look. There's one page that I absolutely hated, which was page 14 that I originally drew, and I originally drew it traditionally, so I'll cut myself some slack. But this is kind of what it looked like, and I hate it. It's like the worst page of the comic. So I've already started to prep. Where have you gone? I think you're down at the bottom, aren't you? So this is like a page redraw where I've added more, like, again, it's a storyboard panel, but I will import some of the art in so I don't have to start completely from scratch, but this actually places people in the room a lot better, and it's really hard to tell from what I've scribbled what's going on. But Sarah Brain knows, and particularly this top right hand panel up here at the top, it's a more zoomed out view that I kind of had here at the bottom, but just drawn better and smaller, but this page feels like it's got a lot more action to it. So I'm now trying to bring all of the pages up to that standard, because it's funny, when I first started the comic, although I used to just do one little page strips, and now I'm obviously doing like a whole longer story, and it's a different skill set. Because before I just used to draw the boxes, and I'd draw like really simple scenes, and it was all very encapsulated. And this is, you got to play the long game. So I'm sort of, yeah, I'm trying really hard not to, but I'm going back and redoing a lot of these pages, just to make it like beautiful. Because I'd rather take longer and put out a comic that I'm like, where I'm pretty proud of nearly every page. I think there'll be some pages where I can't help myself. I'm not gonna like it so much. But like where every page I'm sort of proud of what I've done. As opposed to, I could thwack that out, get it published in the next few months. I don't have that in me. It needs to be beautiful and as I pictured it in my head. But that does mean that, what is it? There's the triangle of time, quality, and cost is like the magic triangle in business. And the cost element is for me time with my family. Don't worry, I'm never fully satisfied with it. And even that, like, if I was allowed to, the comic book cover that's down in that corner, I would probably redo it again if I felt that I had the time. But for me, it's like, okay, how many hours have I spent on this? If I try and make more changes, is anyone actually going to notice? And it's taken me years to kind of gauge when I'm at that point. And sometimes it is like, if I find a piece of artwork that is similar, because I don't copy artwork, but if I find like a similar piece of artwork and I kind of compare mine with the similar piece of artwork that I'm trying to achieve the sort of the right vibes, if they kind of vibe similarly, I'm happy-ish. The other thing to remember, and I've got a friend that publishes comic books, and he said, particularly with comic book art, the reader will forgive the art a lot more than when you're just painting like a pin-up or like a like a standard picture, because if the story is good, they will get carried. It's why comic book writing is such a skill, and that's the one that I think, as I go through all the art, I think I'm going to do a lot of the text as well, because I think I've gotten better at writing after I do it. And I'm trying to be kind to myself that when I started this, like, you can't get better unless you do it. It's like that Nike thing, just do it. Or what's the angry dude? The guy that was like, just do it. Just do it. It was in Transformers, Shia LaBeouf, which always makes me laugh. Beefy Shia. Although the way he said it was a bit mad, but it's kind of true. Like, you only get better by doing more. And I think there's a really famous animator, it might have been Walt Disney, I'm not sure, but that sort of said, when you get a sketchbook, just keep sketching, because there's a lot of bad art that you have to get through. You have to kind of get all your bad art out somewhere to make the good art. It's like, and I like that idea that all of my artwork is kind of trapped inside me, and there's a mix of good and bad, and if I don't draw the bad, they're all in a little queue in my brain, in my heart and in my brain, and if I don't get through the bad ones, I can't get to the good ones. And that also gets me through art blocks, because I get art blocks. I had like a 5-year art block. I just couldn't draw. Everything I drew, I used to say to my husband, I've lost my talent. It's gone. Check down back at the sofa. You found my talent. And I think my biggest barrier was me, because I was so self-critical. And you know what? I was like, at some point I was like, no, just keep drawing. Get the bad art out, and eventually I'll get to the good stuff. And yeah, it seems to have, like, my art's not perfect. I've accepted my art will never be perfect, and art is subjective, so some people will like what I do, some people won't. But that's been a journey. That's been a really long, bumpy, grumpy, sad, happy, crazy journey. But I think the general thing that keeps me going is I can't get better unless I keep going. And sometimes learning when to walk away from a piece is like, do you know what, this is acceptable, I could keep picking at it, and maybe I'll, like, you know, and even with the cover, it might be by the time I finish the rest of the comic I will have to come back to the cover because I'll have learnt something that I can then apply to the cover. But I don't know, only time will tell. But for now I'm like, do you know what, just get on with it. Like, I've got 4 pages of the comic left to at least get it up to a particular point of I can then start to kind of go back all the other pages. But yeah, sometimes I just can't help myself and I have to go back and pick at something that I sort of thought was finished, and then I looked at it again and was like, nope, that needs some more work done on it. Right. Now I know that Tobias, who sort of stood behind here, and at some point I can't remember if I gave him a funny t-shirt design at the beginning. Let's have a look. Not there, not there. See, if I haven't given him a t-shirt design, I might do it now. Fancy t-shirt design. What could I pop on his t-shirt? Looking at the fishbowl like it's going to give me some kind of epiphany. I don't think he's the kind of lead singer that would have a fish on his t-shirt. Although my guppy is very pretty. You're a very pretty guppy. And my tetra. Was that my sucky face? Oh, hey, sucky face catfish. I fed them earlier, so they're all super excited. What would he have? He's got like a Greek kind of, or Aztec-y kind of thing on his arm, so maybe some sort of Aztec design? I put a star on there, but I think that was just to sort of put something on there. But let's give him a t-shirt design. Let's give him an Aztec one. Maybe a little mask. Maybe something like that. Let's go with that. I like that. Num 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 num. That was the only good thing about my stream going a little awry, is I did have time to go and get a drink before it started. Is better. Oh, I do need to thicken up some of these lines because she is in the foreground. Just to make it really clear that she is, or this arm in particular, is in front of everything else. That's looking better. He's still looking a bit scribbly, but that's okay, we'll sort that out in a minute. Get this candle looking better. See, sometimes I do think I lose something when I like rub out all my scribbles, the sort of scribbly lines, and replace it with something a bit smoother, but then I add the colour and I'm like, oh no, I remember why I've got to do this. Got some weird stuff going on in the crotch area. Let's sort that out. There we go. Hey. I mean, what do you think I should work on next? Do you think I should try and get more pages done, or do you think I should go back and tackle some of the early pages that need maybe a bit of TLC? I'm in two minds. I may have gotten a bit overexcited with the angle of this. There we go. And Zane, I don't know if you know Streamlabs or at all, but one thing I did want to do was to turn where I've put the cover art in the bottom right hand corner. What I really wanted to do was to turn that into a little slideshow of my artwork. And I tried to have a little play before the stream started. In fact, that might have even been, maybe that is what broke it. Who knows? But I could not work out how to do it. Or whether it is just maybe as simple as add the images and I don't know. 'Tis a tricky one. It's going to need some cleaning up. Oh, what a mess. That's better. Yep. Clean up the line work, make it purdy. Purdy line work. Yep. It's Thursday today. Hi, is that Lee? Hello, Lee. How are you? Is life treating you well on this very windy and rainy Thursday? Excellent. I was just explaining to Zane that I'm at the point in the comic now where, so this is page 30, and I'm at that annoying point where I've learnt enough to be dangerous. So having re-looked back at sort of the start of the comic and stuff, and having worked on the cover, I've come to the sort of realisation that what I thought was kind of okay from an art point of view ain't gonna cut it, because I want everything to be the same quality as the cover, which I know is like probably madness, but I don't want to put a comic book out that I'm not happy with the quality. So I kind of knew I'd have to go back and rework older pages that I'd drawn traditionally anyway. But I'm completely, there are some pages that I was kind of like, yeah, it's alright, and I've sort of just deleted them and I'm starting them again, because I think I focused too much on whipping quick artwork out and not enough time on actual sequential art and actually telling the story through the art. Because a good art page, you should almost be able to work out what's happening without the text. And there were pages where I'd been lazy and I think I'd over-relied on the text, and where I'd used giant speech bubbles to cover a multitude of sins. Actually, this page is a good example where I've made the speech bubbles like flippin' huge, and it covers all the artwork. And it's, number one, because I've not lettered this properly, and number two, originally I couldn't be bothered to draw. Whipping, you're changing the channel subject. Steady on. But I've been using the speech bubbles, I think, as my crux, as my, I can't be bothered to draw that bit. it's all right. There'll be a giant speech bubble in the way. No one will ever see it. And actually, that's not the way to approach this. That is the shenanigans approach to comic book art and stuff. And actually, the text should be smaller. The speech bubbles should be smaller, which is more in line with like I was reading. This is like my favorite comic book. I cannot tell you how much I love the Monstrous comics. But I was sort of looking at. So this is I'm guessing it's a standard. Do I have a ruler? Standard comic book size, which is 10. Yeah, it is sort of by 10 inches by about sort of 6.5 inches. So this is the size that my comics book's going to be. It's quite a chunky size. And if you look at the speech bubbles, they're tiny. And I've made them so that it like this speech bubble, it would take up like this whole section of the page. That's true. But there are some standards that if you want your comic to A, sell and B, look good, learn from the masters. And yeah, I put my artwork up in a sort of comic book creators Facebook group. So it's a bunch of people that write their own comics. And they said the artwork is lovely. The story is probably very good, although you've not put enough pages up to do it. But your speech bubbles and your lettering is huge. And I was like, yeah, and I know why it's huge. It's because I was covering up bits that I couldn't be asked to draw. And yeah, that is not the attitude I want for my comic. I want it to be, no, I have drawn every frame like it is the Mona Lisa. And you shall enjoy every frame, Mr. Reader, or I shall hunt you down. What's that thing from Taken? I will find you. So yeah, so it's okay. I'm happy, and I am happy with my new approach. But I am sort of systematically turning off all of my speech bubbles because I think I need to, once I finish the art, I need to re-letter and re-bubble it, re-boobly it. I've also discovered Google Fonts, which means I've got some much nicer fonts that I can use throughout the comic, which I'm really pleased with. So yeah. Happy little bun that I am today. But I'm also with this, so this particular, would you like to see page 4? Like, I've got one page where I've got a good example of where I just sort of slapped the artwork down. It was alright. It fulfilled the need of sort of placing people, but it was a bit crap. But this is the original page 14. I will switch, hang on, let me switch to my up close. So this is the original page 14 of my comic, and I can't remember if I put it up in the Esoterica comic book group. I don't think I did. I think I only put up to page 12. But this was page 14, and it was supposed to be kind of to help the reader sort of understand where everybody was in the room and where this character Silver would be talking to them. And thank you. But this is actually the worst page of the comic. It was horrible to draw. It was actually nice to draw traditionally, but it was horrible to kind of digitize it. And I got a lot of the detailing wrong, so I have re-storyboarded it. And it's probably really difficult to tell now, but this is a much stronger set of compositions to kind of ground everybody. So you've got kind of the sort of the close-up of her, and she's actually telling them that they're a bit stinky, and then the sort of the frame that's highlighted up here, that's almost the bottom of this one, but made teeny tiny, so it still serves the purpose of kind of placing everybody in the room. But then I've got some more interesting camera angles for as she continues to talk, and it'll split up the speech a little bit more as well, so it will feel a bit more fast-paced, because it's difficult. Most of issue 1, I guess like any good origin story, is exposition. It's kind of helping the reader understand what the hell's going on as quickly as possible without it, like, so that they don't get bored, but slowly enough that they can comprehend what's going on. It's like, it's like a pilot episode of a TV show, I guess. And if you get it right, you've got the reader hooked, and the rest of the issues are going to be much easier because you've done the exposition. You can just focus on the good storytelling. At least this is my humble opinion. I've lost my trail of thought now. Good exposition, good storytelling there, Sarah. Where was I? Exposition, storytelling. Yeah, so issues 2 and issues 3 of the comic, which I've written but haven't even started the artwork for, will hopefully flow out of my brain and onto the paper much easier, because I'll have done the hard work in issue 1 and worked extra hard to get the pages flowing correctly. So I'm kind of, what I've done before isn't wrong, but I've learned a lot now. I'm at the other end of the comic that I can bring back to the start of the comic, and my problem is that now I know I can do that, it's taking all of my self-restraint. Like, I shouldn't really have redrawn page 14 yet. I shouldn't have done this storyboard page, but I was partway through working on this page and I was like, I need a little break from this page. Oh, bless you. Well, I do babble on about this stuff, but I find it really interesting that sort of, well, when did I start this? December? I think December's when I properly started working on this comic. That since December, and we're in April now, it feels like I'm two different people. So like newbie graphic novel Sarah and slightly seasoned graphic novel Sarah have been having words and disagreeing with one another. But I think slightly seasoned Sarah has explained very nicely to newbie Sarah that the time has come. Yeah, exactly. I guess it's more, I have learned a lot and I wish to apply it to the pages that I obviously didn't know what I was doing. So again, it means my comic's going to take even longer to do, but the end result, I would like to think, will look really professional. That's kind of my aim. There's no doctor can help me. I'm too far gone, but that's okay. I'm happy with my multi-personality, or certainly multi-voice sort of personality. I'm talking about myself in the third person. Right, let's pop myself back on the fancy drawing screen thing. There we go. There we go. With the kitty. That's the main reason I like... Oh, the kitty's not working. Oh, no. Oh, it says it's connecting. Oh, dear. I think my little... So that little cat app should be doing that. But I'm guessing that the thing that broke my whole stream earlier, it was a bit stressful, Lee. I think my video drivers had a little funny 5 minutes. And I thought I was live. I thought I'd done the starting soon. I thought I was live. And I sort of noticed that my... Oh, it's not liking my stream chat either. Interesting. But anyway, I thought I was live. Turns out I was not live. Alright, let's restart. My poor little kitty cat. Can you guys still hear me and see me alright? Is it just the cat that's decided it's connecting? Okie dokie, that's good. Right, Bongo Cat, I'm sorry buddy, but we're gonna bid you farewell. And then we will... Bongo Cat. Ooh, I'm gonna do a witchy Bongo Cat. Come on. Just the cat. Yeah, I'm staying. Back. Okay, and let's go back here. There he... Oh, he's huge. Giant Bongo Cat. Oh, I think Bongo Cat is angry. Alright, Bongo Cat. You go there. Be angry. I'm okay with that. I will make you tinier, so you're less invasive. There we go. Poor Bongo Cat. But I've now got witchy Bongo Cat, which I think matches my new aesthetic. I got this amazing like hoodie witchy top thing from Killstar, and I love it. It's got giant like bell sleeves that I can like hide things up or do magic tricks or pull out like flowers. Don't know. You know, if the art career doesn't go well, I can act as a little tent for mice. There we go. Yeah, knocked my headphones around. Anywho, back to drawing. Back to working on this little frame here. I'm getting... Ooh, what are you not doing? Oh, because I've got the eraser tool. That doesn't help me. I always find drawing crotches a little bit weird, but that's alright. I think that one, it's a fairly simple one. So there's a website called Killstar. Is where I tend to get, or where I recently get a lot of my clothes. It's like alternative clothing. I like to think of myself as like a bohemian goth. Don't know if that's the right word. I'm not afraid of colour, but I do like black. But sometimes I'll feel flowery and I'll wear really flowery stuff with flowers in my hair. Other times, like today, I'm in my witchy, and it's got like a little witch on the top and stuff. I'll wear like witchy attire. Basically, if you imagine like a hobbit and a goth had a baby. Ah, fabulous. In with the good crowd. Well, I like some metal, so I like esoterica, and I like industrial, so I like Nine Inch Nails, but then I also like Jack Johnson and his kind of beachy vibe, and I like soundtrack music and that kind of big sound vibe, and yeah, I think confused witch that lives in the forest but isn't religious sums up me, and my music taste is eclectic. Yes, music for the mood. That's a really good way of putting it. And like, music sort of feeds my art, and I do play piano badly, very badly, and only for myself. If anyone is standing near me when I play piano, I tend to fall to pieces and sort of panic. I get terrible stage fright when it comes to playing piano, but I love playing piano. I like sort of and I tend to do it through sheet music. I'm not one of these magic people that can play by ear and just kind of hear a song and then they're off. I need sheet music. I need to kind of have something written down that tells me where my fingers need to go. But I love puzzling out. It's like a maths puzzle where you're kind of trying to find the pattern for your fingers and stuff. And I really like that. So sometimes I get to actually play the music that I love, although Esoterica don't appear to have any sheet music, but luckily, because I love Final Fantasy, it's like my favourite gaming franchise, they have produced a lot of piano sheet music, and that tends to be what I play when I'm feeling like I need to create the music. But I'd say if my choice was musical art would win, as long as I could still listen to music. And normally I like to listen to my Spotify playlists, but I've heard that if the copyright people find out that you're doing that on your live streams, they find you, take you out back, and they shoot you. So this is something that came with Streamlabs, and it's just called Alternative Rock. But I would recommend, obviously, if people want to listen to their Spotify music whilst I'm streaming, please do. This is just the stuff so I don't get shot. Hung, drawn and quartered. I'm trying to remember what I was doing. Oh, I know why. It's Luke. It's Luke walking behind her. Which in hindsight I think just looks weird. Right, that's not liking that. I think it's okay if he just appears on the side of the next frame. Yeah, I think that looks cleaner. And that doorknob should not be there either. It's like a doorknob in the middle of the door. And I have an architectural husband, and I don't think he would approve of that. I once tried to go into architecture, that didn't end well. My nemesis was trying to draw a spiral staircase from above, and for love nor money I could not work it out. I was like, my brain does not compute. That, and I married my superior. That also kind of killed any interest when I worked in architecture. Tom was kind of my boss. Now I'm his boss. Exactly. Oh, what was I doing with this cloak? I need to put a filter on it because in another scene it's got lots of stars and moons on it. And I wanted to make it seem like it was a humongous cloak when I was drawing this, but I don't think I did it particularly neatly. Okay, So, Lee, am I allowed to ask you about what you did in the Navy? I'm very intrigued because my brother was in the Navy. It's why I was asking about which ship you were on. But if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine too. I don't want to be nosy. Ah, OM branch. I'll need to check with my brother about what exact is. I remember that I used to get emails from him, and he would be out on deck with his little night vision goggles on. Ooh. Sort of patrolling, and I have a feeling he was a weapons specialist of some kind. I mean, it's a long time ago. He's subsequently left the Navy. And I know that he was applying to the Submariners program at one point, but I think the Navy wasn't for him, and I think he went back to forestry. I think he's got a very good green thumb, as my brother. Oh, that's so interesting. Well, thank you for your service. Help keeping us all nice and safe. Sun diggers. He game. I don't know. I will be honest. I haven't had a huge amount of contact with him over the years. I think there was some family drama that I wasn't involved in, but yeah, not as close as I wish we were. But I hear he is doing very well. So he doesn't game, but I game. He said exactly the same thing, and he sent some amazing, like, you know, the crossing the equator things looked hilarious. Oh, sun dodgers. I was going to say sun diggers. But yeah, sadly he didn't complete the program, I don't think. But I do know at one point, and he wasn't allowed to talk about a lot of it at the time, but I do know that he applied and I think got accepted, but for whatever reason it didn't pan out. Okay, that looks better. Right, I'm gonna try adding the pattern to this now, which I am notoriously terrible at. Question is, where did I put it? Don't think it was a clothes pattern. Pretty sure it was one I downloaded. Nope. Other? Could have been other. Looking for stars and moons. We do have to play. Where did Sarah put it? Oh, here we go, download. Aha, there it is. Right. Gotcha. Mr. Brian's lair, where are you? There you are. Okay. So Lee, what other sort of bands and stuff do you like? And Zane, I'd love to hear your music taste too if you're still hanging about. Always on the search for new music. I've been listening to Bad Omens has been a band that I came across that I've been really enjoying, that I'd not heard of before. musicals to thrash metal. That is a good spectrum. Are there any sort of standout bands that you think worth checking out? Must remember to save. Ooh, Zane, yeah, I want to hear about yours as well. Are you another musicals to thrash metal? Is yours a sort of mood music, as Lee very eloquently, or Zombie UK very eloquently described it. That's the word I'm looking for. Ugh, you can tell it's been a long day at work. My brain has officially given up for the day. Oh yeah, Rammstein, yep, like them. System of a Down, like them. Linkin Park, yep, like them. 80s new round too. I've recently got into Gary Newman, and I was watching one of the new South Park episodes, and I was like, recognise that track. So if you like South Park and you haven't seen the most recent episode about teenagers and softball, I think so, was it softball, or what's the one where it's kind of you just fire little white pellety things? It's not. A bit like paintball. It's not softball. That's a sport, isn't it? Airsoft. Airsofting? That might be it. Brilliant. Like, I've not been enjoying yes, airsoft. Yeah, there's a particular South Park episode about airsoft. I think is certainly in the UK has only been out for the last 2 weeks, and there was a particular section where it's like, that's a Gary Newman song. I'm sure that's a Gary Newman song they've put in the background. It's so good. Is my cat back? My cat is not back. Ugh, Bongo Cat, you've let me down. Oh well, I'll just leave it there looking cute and looking cute and kitty-like my kitties, who I've only partially fed, so I'm a bit worried that they're going to bring me something dead if I don't feed them properly. I said a couple of streams ago, I got up, I finished my stream, it's been a very good stream, got up, turned around, stood in a dead rabbit. Blech. That's how my cats show me they love me though, so I can't complain too much. It comes from a place of love. And murder. Murdery love. Where's that not? Oh, it's wrong there. Explain. Oh, still on the wrong layer. Ooh, that's weird. What's on that layer then? Oh no. Oh, okay, right, that's fine. Okay, nothing on that layer. That layer is going in the bin. Okay, so we sort of talked music. Zane and Lee, what are your favourite TV shows? I've probably revealed that I'm a bit of a South Park aficionado. Aficionado. I know, long word. Long word sounds pretentious, that's the one I'm aiming for. I am a South Park connoisseur. Love a bit of South Park. Because it makes me feel like it's okay to laugh at all the strange and silly things that happen in the world. Because the world is quite a scary place, 90% of the time. Oh, I've started to watch Demon Slayer. That's the one with the red-headed chap with the green and black checkered capey thing, and the sister wears pink, has like a, I think it's a little bit of bamboo in her mouth. Yes, really good. And I keep meaning to watch more of it. But the trouble is with that particular anime is I can't draw whilst I watch it. Because I get sucked into it and then I don't draw anything. Oh, what sort of... Zane is a cutie. Lee is also an anime fan. I'm an anime fan. So let's share anime recommendations. I am a big fan of, like... I like all genres of anime, I guess. But like Western style ones would be Castlevania. Really enjoyed that. I love SAO, Sword Art Online. Love that. Demon Slayer. Love that. Just need to make sure I've set aside time to watch it where I'm not expecting to be productive at the same time. I like Violet Evergarden because it's beautifully drawn. I think I'm on episode 2 because I realised after episode 1 this was not a show I could watch when I was trying to achieve anything. Oh, Ghost in a Shell, very good. Sky Blue, also very good. Bubblegum Crisis 2040 is the anime that got me into anime. Tokyo Ghoul, also very good. I haven't finished that yet because I think Netflix brought out the new season a while ago. Like years ago, and I just haven't had a chance to watch. What else have I? I've got some Fruits Baskets. I like that one. Surprisingly dark ending. Chobits I really enjoyed. So I know my DVD collection is up there somewhere. Back when DVDs were a thing. I'm trying to think, there was another one that we watched not that long ago that I really enjoyed. Gonna bug me. So yeah, no spoilers, Zane. I am very early on into it. Normally I watch anime like things like Violet Evergarden. Yeah, Violet Evergarden. I think that's it, the one. And or if it's one I've seen before, like Ghost in the Shell's a good one to stick on because I've watched it so many times. I don't necessarily need to pay attention to what's going on. I can just look up and look at the cool artwork and stuff. Watched Metropolis a couple of times, but it's one of those where I've watched the Godzilla that's on Netflix. Sorry, I had to open up my Netflix. What else have I been watching? Bop, bop. Come to me, my Netflix. Yeah, I tend to like the ones where the drawing is particularly beautiful, where everyone's beautiful. That tends to be my favourite kind of one. So like, I watched a little bit of Dragon Ball Z, but I'm not a massive fan of that art style. And it kind of then doesn't matter how good the story is and stuff. If I don't like the art style, I drift away. Where have you gone, my little anime list? Categories. There you are. I haven't watched Kotaro Lives Alone, which has just come up on Netflix, so I cannot attest to how good that is. Ooh, I'm enjoying Dota Dragon's Blood. I've enjoyed Blue Exorcist. That one was very prettily drawn. Parasite, although not one I could watch with my little girl hanging around. Seven Deadly Sins. Your Name, love that film. Oh, do like a mushy romance every now and then. Watch Black Lagoon. Oh, Kakaguri, that was weird. The whole gambling one I enjoyed, but it was weird. Oh, Terror in Resonance, really like that film. I love the art style of that. Really beautiful film. Yeah, but there are so many now on Netflix that I keep hopping about and not really giving any of them a proper chance. And I don't know if it counts, but Agretzko as well. The one where she's a little fox that does like screams death metal around her office job because she hates life in general, or hates certain things in her life. I very much enjoyed that. It was my kind of thing. My mobile is telling me I have notifications for things, but no. Right, anyway, go back to work, Sarah. Back to work. Don't pay you to sit around and natter. Oh wait. Yeah, it was. I mean, I watched the dubbed version, which I think helped me a little bit. And the first couple of episodes, it was like, this is beautifully drawn, but what? What is happening? But then I kind of got weirdly into it. My friend used to work in a casino, so I don't know why, but it sort of made me think of her a little bit, and so I was like, I'll watch it. But yeah, the more I watched, I was like, this is really messed up. I'm glad my high school / secondary school, if you're a UK person, was not like this. Am I still stuck on the eraser tool? Yes, I am. Ooh, pink. Why does this keep changing to pink? No. Tour bag. So when do we make it tour bag 7? Right. Do you know what? I think this is almost ready for colour. And I might just be saying that because I'm bored of doing the line work. But I don't think there's that much more to clean up. And I might decide to change things when I start colouring it, so I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole. Let's give it a go. Right, so I think I generally made this whole place purple. Purple. Oh, I did want to have like a picture behind it though. Okay. Let's make this a lot thinner. No, did not angle that correctly. Then that's what that squiggle is kind of represented by, but that's fine. I'll sort that out when I come to it. So let's start adding some colour. And let's just dollop some purple in there. Perfect. Okay, and actually, let's go over here. I'm gonna, yeah, near enough. Okay, drop that underneath. So this one, I think, is my gradient. Oh, come on, play nice. Oh, no. Bottoms. Don't do that. Okay, right. Let's see if I've got the angle of that right. Near enough. So actually, I want... yeah, I think that's probably about right. Where's my control D? And that's the door, and then I just use my little magic mushroom tool. That's not what I'm trying to say. Shift. There we go. Be that. Oh no, abort. So it's gonna be that bit and that bit. Again, on the gradient tool. No. No. Okay, no, we have to do this the old-fashioned way, which is with the airbrush tool. Not really what I was aiming for, but maybe a bit more control. Okay. That's looking better. And then let's get the floor, which originally I'd have the floor. Ooh, no. Alright, that's interesting. So somewhere around here, I haven't properly filled in the line work. That's annoying. Probably there. Let's go with that. Right. Okay. Oh, no. Missed another bit. Trust the sneaky line tool though. Does look pretty solid, if I do say so myself. Can't quite see where it would be sneaking through, but let's try again. No, it's still saying that they're connected somehow. Right, we're going right in. Oh, prepare for the close-up. Where are you sneaking through, little magic tool? Oh, I know how you're sneaking through. Very sneaky. But that's okay. Perfect. Right, there we go. So the floor of this place, I'd originally drawn it as like a tiled floor. And I think we're gonna stick with that. I just need to remember what the pattern was. Pretty sure it was one of, was it a crosshatch? Ah, it was that one. Okay. Right, so we want to drop you in on your own layer. And that is interesting. I do not want. Why are you not letting me draw? There we go. I don't want any of this to be impacted by that. No, thank you, Senorita. Yep, that'll do. Right, okay. Now we can try and do that again. Much better. Right, and then in the thing in here, let's scale it so it looks, there we go, that's better. Right, save, let's come off that there. Oh, there we go, it's already starting to look a little bit more like there's actually some placement going on, which is nice. Okay, and I'm just going to reduce the opacity of that a little bit, because it's a bit intense. There we go. Right, so that's going to be a painting. They're all going to be whatnotties. Let's start colouring silver up. So let's pull up her main picture. And I can nick all the colours from that. Love a bit of colour stealing. Actually, the PNG for that's probably going to be better, just to get the colours. Okay. Come to me, my little colour princess. We are going to steal your colour palette. Right. So, back to here, back to there. Nope, no, let's close some of these down. Oh no. Nope. And is that the many layered one? It is. Come away too. Okay, so. We actually want up of those. Okay. I don't think that picked the right colour, you know. Okay, that's better. Right. Let's get this colour on, make her hair all pretty. It's one thing I like that I decided to make this character have grey hair, because it makes me think that when I'm old and I have grey hair, I can still be cool. I'd love to have grey hair like this, particularly if I can get some pinks and some blues in there. That would make me a very happy bunny. I dyed my hair blue just before this stream, actually. It's why my fingers look like I murdered a Smurf. I did not murder a Smurf. It was not I. This is not a confession of guilt. No Smurfs were harmed in the making of this stream. Ooh, oops. Whoops. Well, I was saving myself a job then, but no, I think I just made it harder. Okay, that's better. Okay, this is good. Getting some. Okay, let's take a skin tone. Let's just call that hair. I am getting better at remembering to actually label my layers. Right. Okay, she's starting to look more like she belongs in the scene. Still have brown as well, just to pop that on. So I'm just doing what I think is commonly known as the flats, which is just dumping the flat colour on. And with all of my pieces, that's kind of where I want to get to, is just getting my flats down. Maybe with a bit of texture and colour and stuff, but then a bit like in a movie, I'll go back and add all the lighting effects and stuff. Because I think most of these scenes need a bit of lighting zhuzh. Bit of zhuzh. Did I make that a different layer? Colour? No, I did not. Okay, that's fine. Right, and then so that's her. And actually, that I think is the same brown, isn't it? Is that the same brown? No, different brown. Ooh, different brown. Okay. Put her on the right hand. So that's her left hand. And that'll be a left hand, yes I have. Go me. I think this scene will be the first scene where I've actually put colour in the like what the table is and all of that stuff, so that'll be interesting. Leather. Ooh, drink. God, that was there. Nice. No, don't know what I just did then, but don't do that. Dear. It feels like the older I get, the more rubbish I am at colouring stuff in. Which I'm sure there was supposed to be like a critical thing in childhood where you get good at colouring in. That's right, it's what the delete tool is for, the eraser tool. do like it when I get to the colour adding stage and it all comes to life. Yeah, I'm liking that. I do think that she's got these massive sort of bronze wings. Must make it really impractical. Like, I envisaged her like home of being this kind of almost like a clockmaker's shop. In fact, her house will appear in the, or where she lives appears in, I don't think you call it a house. She sort of runs this kind of like a fortune teller, steampunk fortune teller type vibe. That's what I'm going for her house. But whether she takes her wings off when she's doing that, I don't know. I haven't quite thought that bit through yet. I need to think that bit through, but as yet haven't thought that through. Because the practicalities of walking around with giant bronze wings sort of strapped to your back must be somewhat problematic. Oh, I missed a bit. Missed a bit. Oh no. Okay. Yes, I think that is looking pretty good. Like for the flats, it's looking pretty good. Okay. Let's get that door. And I always picture... Ooh, interesting. Okay, oh, I know why. Now I feel silly. Okay, so if we go back to the lilac layer. There we go. I think this door is probably going to be pretty close to black. That's interesting. Okay. I think that'll do. Don't worry, Lee. I'm probably going to wrap up in about 20 minutes anyway, because I kind of finish work, I have a shower, I come and stream, and then I have things like food that I need to try and eat. And that's when me and my husband are currently super addicted to a game called Valheim, which is basically Viking Minecraft. And it's like, you know, I should be playing my Final Fantasy expansion that I paid for, and I'm really into the story of in Final Fantasy 14, so I can game with my friends. But then I got this laptop, and I got my Steam account back, and my husband has been playing Valheim for a long time now, but I'm now all caught up with him. And we need to make all our silver equipment and stuff. And yeah, just at the end of a stressful day, I need a sort of, it's not quite farming, it's Minecraft, it's kind of open world, kind of go off, hunt and forage, and smack skeletons with swords. It makes me happy. Dressed as a Viking. And in fact, I'm going to a festival Exactly. I'm going to a festival called Fantasy Forest in July, and I am planning to go dressed as a Viking. In fact, I've got most of my costume in a baggie behind me, which so far has come from Primark. So I managed to get like a funny shirt-looking thing that's quite Viking-y, a little collar thing that I'm going to cover in feathers, and I'm going to make myself like a headdress. Because we went last year as like Technicolor Vikings. But this year I want to go as like proper hardcore Vikings with big headdresses. So I'll be making mine and my hubby's and my little girl's costumes. Although Holly, I think, won't want to be hardcore Viking. I think she's probably going to want to be a fairy. I like that. Yeah. Well, it's funny, if you go to the Fantasy Forest websites for about 3 seconds, you can see me, my daughter, and my husband walking into the festival. They sort of filmed us as we came in because we were like, because we'd all like the 3 of us had dressed up with, and it was before it got really hot and all of our makeup melted. And we were still feeling pretty like, yeah, we're Vikings, but by about midday we were like, we're really drippy Vikings. Just want to get washed.
And everybody else has cooler stuff than we do.
What was that, Tom?
And everybody else has cooler stuff than we do.
Yeah, everyone else had cooler stuff than us because we were like newbie dressing up people. And it's amazing because they had like the medieval quarter where it had like people were selling proper swords and drinking horns and like proper leather plated armor. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, we're already like, hubby and I are archers. Archers? Is that what you? So we both have bows and arrows, and we take them down the woods and shoot plastic animals. You know, like most well-adjusted people will want to do. So we've kind of already got all the gear for that. Used to make longbows. Oh, that's so cool. Tom wanted to go on a course to make longbows. I do not have the poundage strength to deal with a longbow. That's so. Did you kind of go off on a course to learn to do that, or did you just go out there, hack some trees down, or like the bits you'd need and kind of carve it? That's awesome. Yeah, I have an American flat bow. I'm a recurve girl, I guess. I don't like compound bows. They're a bit too... There's too many gears and whatnot. That is very cool. I do like it when people have had jobs like that and it's like, oh, that sounds awesome. And working with your hands and stuff as well. Because Tom, you made a fake long... Is yours a fake longbow or is yours a fake recurve? Shouting at me, he's probably not there anymore. Tom? Husband? Light of my life? Oh, you! No, it's probably gone to the toilet. Or left. Came, went, no, and left. But yeah, they sell Mongolian short bows and stuff at this place. Wow. And you made the arrows. See, that's dedication. Mine are titanium. Because I have a habit of accidentally shooting brick walls and bending them. And apparently wooden arrows just sort of explode when you do that. Oh, yeah. Well, see, I thought they were always horseback bows, but the guy that was selling them was sort of like, no, you can't just shoot them like a normal bow. And I had the great fortune of meeting Esoterica a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking sort of bows and arrows, and Tobias said that he had a Mongolian bow, because I thought that you needed to have the thumb thingies to sort of fire them, because they were designed for obviously using on horseback. And he said no, so yes. But I'll admit, I'm sort of out of my comfort zone when it... That's true. And I think if I had more time, if I wasn't sort of doing this sort of stuff... Okay. Because they were only about 40 quid when we went last year, and I was really tempted, and then didn't do it. But maybe this year, although this year we're both kind of adamant that we're going to buy costume enhancements, because it always feels nice when you're buying bits for your costume from the actual vendors that, like, you know, you can see you meet the person that's made it, and there might be a little story behind what they're selling you, or or it's a small business. So I think we're gonna save up and get some sort of, I don't know, I don't think I'd want a chest plate because it's so hot. Like, assuming it's the same temperature range as last year. Yeah. Yeah, well, so we're going to go with sort of basics. Tom, I don't think has quite worked out what he's going as yet, but I'm definitely going to try more Viking witch, or like, like witch doctory type thing, rather than archer. Because also carrying your bow around, even though we both made like fake bows to do it, is a bit faffy. Whereas if it's just everything's on your belt or just strapped to you, it's easy to walk around a festival like that. But it was unbelievably hot. So I also want stuff that's fairly light. But yeah, I think the plan is to buy costume bits, and because we're camping, we might also try and get like a proper sort of Viking-like fire pit type thing, because there's lots of reenactors there that sell that sort of stuff. So I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. And we'll just have to hope that the British summer does its non-usual summery thing of rain. But yeah, we've got our tent and stuff all sorted now, which is really cool. Really good. Can't wait. Right, table and chair. I think we're going to go for a dark grey. This is the trouble with streaming. Yeah, we did look at getting a bell tent so that we'd be proper reenacting, but they are a pain to put up. They are massive. So, because we've only got teeny tiny cars, I mean, I think we're gonna have to take 2 cars anyway, but it would take up a car. And if it does get wet, the cotton of bell tents, because we have a teeny tiny garden, we'd have nowhere to dry it out properly. So we've gone for a hiking tent, but we've gone for one that's bigger than our needs, so that we have like a proper living room area, and then we've got separate bedrooms. Yes, we did try and lift, because they had some canvas ones in Go Outdoors, and we tried to lift it. It was like, nope. And I know that from where you park your car to the actual campsite is a good sort of 15-20 minute walk, and yeah, that was not going to be an option for us with a small child. So we went for one that was a bit lighter, but probably the same size as a sort of 4 meter bell tent. Once it's all sort of erected, takes half the time to erect. Exactly. And it's not like we're sort of part of the actual reenactment area of the festival or anything. We are just going to be sort of tucked away in the camping sort of zone, round the back. But yeah, we will be living it up in comfort though. But having not camped for many years, would you recommend camping bed, which can't pop, or blow up bed, which potentially could pop, but might be a bit comfier? I suppose, but the blow up one will take up less space, but the camping bed is more structurally sound. Oh, I don't know. That's our current sort of, because we did think about getting either proper better blow up mattresses than we've got, which are really just ones for when people stay over in the house, which the cats periodically pop. Darling little kitties. Oh, Tom, are you downstairs? He's properly vanished. He came in, got home, ran away. I was going to say I haven't fed them properly. They've just had their dry food. No, my kitties. They'll be like, this is insufficient nourishment. We shall go and fetch a rabbit from the field. Yeah. Yeah, I wish there was a service where you could do that before you, because they, in these COVID-y times, I don't think the people in the shop were too keen on us getting the different options out to kind of give it a go. Okay, let's just see which of the actual runs of the chair now. Don't know what layer I did that on, but there we go. This page is looking much better. Right, save them. Yeah, so we were in Go Outdoors and they had some of the camping beds out. I think Tom tried one, but I think we're going to go back. It felt like we were buying an awful lot more Go, so we decided we'd just get the tent, the cooking facilities, the water carrying facilities, and the keeping things chilled facilities, and a little picnic table thing. I think that's all we got in the end. And we're going to go back for sleeping facilities and sitting facilities, because I think, having done it last year, so last year we stayed in a little cottage near the castle grounds because it's held in like a I was going to say, if you're UK based, highly recommend it, but it's based in the grounds of Sudeley Castle, which is beautiful. And they had some little cottages in the castle grounds, and I sort of treated us to, you know, swoosh, a very swish little cottage, which turned out to be a lot of money when we were barely there. So that's why I thought this year we'd actually camp. Yeah, it was very swanky. Cost an absolute fortune. Like, you know, it would have paid for us to go away for a week in Scotland, but yeah, I thought, you know, we've not done a festival with my daughter before, let's make it nice. But yeah, this time it's like, nah, we're gonna get grungy. And my daughter, we've sort of camped in the back garden, but we've not sort of done it properly, so this will be a proper adventure. Love an adventure. Oh, is that you, Tom? I didn't feed the kitty cats properly. I only gave them the dry. Would you mind giving them? No. Well, I had one of those weird protein bar things, so. But I could eat half a pizza. I'm not doing well with the calorie counting. 10 minutes and then I'll be done. Yeah. I need to walk away from this comic. I did a bit of work on it at lunchtime as well, and I think it's making my eyes go funny. And my video drivers all like exploded earlier. I had to re-download all my video drivers. Yeah, I don't know. I think I just had a bit of a funny 5 minutes. And I was going to ask you a question. I can't remember what it was now. Oh yeah, what are you going to do? Are you doing Viking for Fantasy Forest?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, where are my t-shirts?
Oh, they're on the bed upstairs. Yeah, hubby ordered some Viking style shirts from somebody on Etsy. And it's taken months to arrive, but they finally arrived today. Oh, and I've just realised, did I knock that? Oh. I think I may have knocked it. Because there's a little... Oh, no, even worse, I didn't knock it. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I like that. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Clip Studio. I like it when stuff like that happens. Okay, file save. Okay, I think I need to call it a day there. I got a lot of the line art done in the top part. It's mostly just colouring stuff now, which, yeah, that's good. So I think I'm going to wrap it up for the day. Thank you so much for joining me, Zane and Lee. It's been an absolute pleasure hearing all about your anime tips and music taste. And I will be back. We're not going anywhere this weekend, are we, Tom?
No.
Nope, I will be back on Sunday for an afternoon of more aggressive tunes. Yeah, I might even sort of work on one of the splash pages, like the big exciting pages, or hopefully I'll be getting this page done. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of the day. I'll catch you later. Bye bye for now.